All right, guys, welcome to episode 9 of the Brown Balls podcast. We got Kenil in the house. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. How you been?
Good, man, good. Just finished the Monday Night Football game. It's interesting. Let's we'll get right into that game too. So
Let's
this was
do
a
it. Let's
huge
do
game,
it.
honestly. We talked about how much the Jets are not playing well, and the Bills were
hmm
playing well. And here the Jets were potentially able to be the division lead, even not having a great, great season so far. They just are coming off of firing Saleh, and it was a good game, but it was an ugly game because there was so many penalties being thrown left and right. What were your thoughts?
Man, the game, honestly, I thought it would be more low scoring, defensive, game than it was more like, but then it was opposite. It was more of an like offensive like
Yeah,
outbreak, man. I
yeah,
mean, you have Josh Allen, throwing for 215. Josh Allen's been struggling this year, right? Because
yeah,
Stephon Diggs not there. He hasn't found that chemistry with that one receiver that he wants, right? And
right.
then Aaron Rodgers, he's been picking it up lately. I mean, he had 294 yards, but he hasn't thrown 300 yards since 2021, man. That's
Oh
dating back
my
to Green
God.
Bay days, man. So he still hasn't
Wow.
thrown 300 yards, right? So I thought this was gonna be more of an more of a defensive game than an offensive like showdown. And I mean, it was a good game, man. Better
Yeah.
than the past 2 weeks, right? What do you think, man?
Yeah, same. Like when the Bills were up, I think they were up 20-10, go
Oh my
right
gosh,
before the half, and then Aaron Rodgers had a Hail Mary to to Alan Lazard, and
Lazard.
he caught it. And I was just like, because when they went up by 10, I'm like, okay, this is game over, right? It's like they're gonna go
Yeah,
into the half with the lead, and then they're probably gonna come out strong, and this is game over. And then literally when Aaron
it
Rodgers
was.
threw that touchdown, I was like, wow, like they are right
It
back
was.
in it. It was a 3-point
It was
game.
like less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Forget about a field goal. He literally just threw that. Like it
Yeah.
was. It was beautiful pass.
Yeah, it was a perfect pass. There was no question about it either. Like it was a perfect pass. No, like did they get away with something? No, literally it was a perfect pass, perfect throw.
Yeah, dude.
That was an awesome moment. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers I think had a lot to prove in this game though because he got a lot of flack for Salah being fired, right? Because like Salah's defense has been solid and the offense was the issue. And they're like, apparently the theory, I don't know if you heard about this, is that the owner called Aaron Rodgers the night before he firing Saleh, and potentially Saleh was trying to get his boy, the Diamond Hackett,
Hackett.
fired.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, I think something must have, maybe Aaron Rodgers said something, and then Saleh got fired. But that was potentially that's the conspiracy, the rumor behind it. Which I
Which
think
is
which is why Aaron
true,
Rodgers needed to have a
probably.
have a huge game today.
But man, like going back to our previous podcast, right? We did like talk about two potential coaches that could be
Yeah,
on a hot seat, and one of them we thought that could be moved in during the season, and that
hmm
was Salah, and
yeah,
the other one is from the Eagles, which we
yeah,
don't we both agree that Eagles literally just gotta like give up on the season for him to be fired and be out
right,
of the playoffs, and that's only he'll get fired during the season. But if not, I think he's done. Sirianni is completely done. But going
yeah.
back to the Salah thing, that's completely true. The reports did come out, and what happened was, I guess, on the way back from London, where they played Minnesota,
hmm
I guess their coaches were like a couple of coaches were watching, I think the game tape,
hmm
and they felt that the offense needs to be changed a little, and so they're gonna take the offensive calling duty from Daniel Hackett and give it to someone else, and that was going
hmm
into it. And then I guess he was gonna make that call official Monday after talking to the owner, and then
hmm
talking to Rogers, and just kind of like saying, hey, we're gonna like see if our offense, because offense been struggling, right?
Yeah.
They haven't been on the same page. I mean, Garrett Wilson hasn't been Garrett Wilson from last year, even though Garrett Wilson didn't have Rogers last year, but he still played better last year.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's exactly true. So when he came down, I mean, I guess the owner called up Rogers right before and said that, what do you think about Salah? And I guess
hmm
Rogers didn't give a word of confidence to the owner
hmm
and stating that no, keep him or no. He just kind of said that, I don't know, whatever you want to do. I think he left it like that. And then the
Yeah.
owner in the morning, pulled the trigger and just fired him. And the way it happened was kind of embarrassing, man. I mean, look, I understand this shit happens everywhere in NFL
Right.
basketball, but it happens, man. It happens in real life work. the way it happened and the stories that's been told that he got fired and he didn't even have a chance to address a team
Right. Yeah,
and like
escorted
I
out.
guess escorted out. Like,
Yeah.
give the guy some respect. He's a human. Like, why
Yeah.
would you even do that? That's sad. I mean, honestly, he
Yeah.
was your coach for 3 years. I mean, give him some respect. I mean, if you wanted to address some team members and or coaching staff, letting them know that, hey, look, I'm gone, and they let
Yeah.
go of me. Let him. I mean, he
Yeah.
deserves that, right? So I don't know
Yeah.
what you think about that. I never seen that happen in NFL, man. And they look bad on the ownership, not even the
Exactly.
management, the ownership of the franchise. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you. I think it looks really poorly on ownership, the way they handled it. I mean, Bill Belichick today even said,
Oh
that the
my gosh.
ownership at the Jets is just so bad. Like, 3 out of 10 a season they've had this past decade, they've only had a winning record. So they really don't know what they're quite doing out there. And I did appreciate like Sauce Gardner, some of the players sticking up for Sauce, saying that hey, Sauce was a good coach. He helped
Yeah.
us a lot. Like I mean, he was a defensive coach. He probably had more plays with the defensive players. But yeah, I mean, this is the poison sometimes of Aaron Rodgers is that you get pulled into this pool of like he wants to also control some stuff and that's one part of Aaron Rodgers that I never have been a big fan of because he always thinks he's the smartest person in the room, but he's only won one championship. Like you put him with like in a room with like Peyton Manning's or like Tom Brady, he's not at that level. So like, why
Mm,
is he getting that specific kind of like attention or not even attention, but like that kind of power when he truly hasn't earned it? I mean, he's been an MVP, great. I mean, so has Lamar Jackson multiple
yeah.
times. Doesn't mean Lamar's out there making calling shots. So like I just never understood how or why he gets so much power because yeah, I mean I would honestly fire Nathaniel Hackett over Robert Saleh. Like
Yeah.
that should have been the move that should have been made first, and then Saleh could have been fired. If they still didn't improve. And they're saying Nathaniel Hackett doesn't know what he's doing half the time. His plays aren't working. He has no voice with the players on offense at all. So like, what is the point of him being there?
And on top of that, it didn't work out for Broncos, right? And that was a
Yeah,
disaster.
exactly.
Game management sucked when he was head coach last year, or the 2 years ago he was, right?
And he
And
was
like you
only there
said,
because of Aaron Rodgers,
exactly.
right?
And then Bill, like you said, Bill Belichick was perfect to have on for Monday Nighter with the
Yeah.
with the Manning brothers. His exact quote, Belichick's exact quote is, "That's the kind of no, that's kind of what it's been like with the Jets. Barely won over 30% in the last 10 years. The
Hmm.
owner is being an owner and just ready to fire the aim.
Yeah.
That's huge."
Yeah. Agreed.
And you know what's funny? They talked about it. So Peyton Manning said that when they made the move to let Bill Parcells go, and you
Hmm.
became the interim coach, and you were only coach for one game, and
Right.
then you resigned.
Yeah.
And so he shows what type of ownership this is ran by, right? This
Yeah.
goes back to like New York Knicks, the
Yeah.
comparable, or to Star Clippers, when they were owned by the Sterlings,
Yeah.
and so it shows ownership, man, like it's whack, and it starts from there, straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I don't know if the Jets get any better. This was their best chance because Josh Allen
Yeah,
did not. I mean, yeah, he had 215, but he didn't have the best game there was. The kicker missed two really bad field goals. I don't know like how that happened because their line's pretty
it,
automatic
it was
usually.
windy, and like
Yeah.
I'm like, this is your home stadium. You've
Yeah.
been kicking there for a year or so. You don't
It's
know
like
the weather. You don't know what kind of weather
yeah.
you're playing in. Like,
They were all
how are you
clankers too.
planking? You
Yeah.
clank the
You could
goalposts. Like,
hear
what's
it.
wrong?
Yeah, so it was a rough game. This is a game they really needed. So I think after this, I mean, I don't even know what coach would want to be there. It doesn't seem like
Yeah,
Bill Belichick would want to be coaching there. He would be a good candidate, but then he wouldn't want to coach Aaron Rodgers, and he would also wouldn't want to coach for the Jets because he just knows how toxic it is over there. So, who knows who's out there that would be able to take the spot? But
I
definitely
was gonna
interesting
say
game.
I was gonna say Belichick, but after he made that remark, I don't know if he
Yeah,
wants to
he
go there. To be
yeah
honest,
he. I don't think
you
he
know.
wants to be a Jet. Like no, thank you. I'd rather just
Yeah.
stay broadcasting than do all that.
You know,
Um,
but I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now. Watching this game today, man, right, against a really good Buffalo team.
mhm,
That's where my predictions coming, right? So I still have KC winning the whole thing, but now KC losing Rasheed Rice and all of them, it's gonna be
mhm,
tough. And Kelsey just being Kelsey now, he's not
right.
a like offensive threat anymore. by saying all this about the Jets and everything, man, I mean, they still have Rodgers, right? And when
Yeah.
Rodgers being healthy, it's Rodgers, straight up, you
Yeah.
know? And just looking, like, just assessing the whole roster. And, sometimes, think about when Rodgers won the Super Bowl, he won as a wild card team in Green Bay. He
Hmm.
didn't win that division. So, by saying that, what I'm ultimately saying is that if the Jets get into the playoffs as a wild card, they're not winning that division. This
Right.
division is basically lost. They're not going to win this
Right.
division because they already lost to Buffalo, so they're already
Hmm.
behind that eight ball. They have to
Hmm.
basically win that next matchup with Buffalo, have that same record, and then I think go to home field. Oh, who won more home games, and that's how they win the division or something, you know. But
Hmm.
by saying that, if Jets do get into the playoffs, if Rodgers is healthy, I do feel they have the best roster. Talking about defense,
Hmm.
they have a good defense, a solid D line. They have a really good receiving core and
O
also a
line
running back.
sucks.
The O line is not there. That's the reason I use the O line. The D line is
Yeah.
good. The
He's
defensive
got.
line and the
Did you
defense is
see the
good.
sacks he got today? It
No,
looked
that's the only
bad.
that's the only thing that will put them back. But if you look at all the teams out there, right? I think they have the most complete team. Like look at the running back they have, Brees Hall, right? He's a
Yeah, we saw.
really good. He's a solid running back, right?
Yeah.
And now you got Garrett Wilson, you got Lazard, and Mike Williams is on and off, whatever. But then they have a good tight end. So
Hmm.
if they sneak into the playoffs, Jets will be dangerous. That's all I gotta say. And that I can see
I
this
just,
type of team actually upsetting like a
I just
KC.
don't know how they make the wild cards in front of teams like the Bengals, in front of teams like the Chargers or the Steelers. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe the
man.
Steelers probably, but
Things
like, I
gotta
don't
happen,
see
right?
them
Things
like,
gotta happen.
yeah, yeah. I just don't know. I mean, it could be like because now they're 2 games under 500, so like they literally have
Yeah,
to
they're
go
two and
on a
four.
hot streak. I mean, they're playing the Steelers
They
next. They
have
got the
to.
Patriots bye week. Then they got the
Well, they
Texans.
gotta beat those teams like Steelers. Like they're the wild card
Yeah,
team as well too. They
yeah,
gotta beat those teams, right? Like they're gonna face
yeah,
Steelers again. They're gonna face. I don't know if they face the Chargers or not, but like they're gonna face
yeah.
those
They
teams
got
that
the
are gonna
Rams
come in the
later.
way
Yeah,
to make the wild card. Yeah, yeah, and like I think they'll beat the Rams because Rams. I don't know what direction they're heading to right
yeah,
now. So
right.
I mean, they have easy opponents coming. But I do feel that if they do sneak in, this is the type of wild card team you do not want to face. I'm being
Right.
honest with you, and
No,
I know that's a really bold prediction. I can see this team actually being the AFC Championship game, playing against your Baltimore, depending on how the season works, your Baltimore or even a KC team.
well, Baltimore looks a lot better right now, but
Exactly,
just
exactly.
because I mean, honestly, watching today's game, I don't even know if Aaron Rodgers can survive the whole season because of how bad he's getting
Okay,
sacked out there. Like he
the whole
had
line's
that
horrible.
weird ankle sprain last week, and then he also had a little
Oh yeah,
tweak this week too. So like, I
yeah.
mean, he's a 40-year-old guy. He's just coming off of an Achilles injury. So like, who the heck knows, right? So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, if they are fully healthy, then on paper, yeah, they have a really good team,
this
and
is
that's why the
really good.
expectation for
They
them
can
was
match
so
well up
high.
against a lot of teams. Like think
Yeah,
about it.
but
Like
coaching matters too, though.
see, coaching matters, but there's no coach because Rodgers is a coach, right? I don't I like going back to it. I don't see what coach can they really bring that can
Right.
handle Rodgers, right? So I do feel that the coach they have in place right now, which I think was a defensive coordinator, and they made him into an interim head coach. I think that's what
Yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
or something like that. So I think that's what's gonna. I think they're gonna work in a what do you call it, a committee way, right? Like with Rodgers being a coach, with the defensive coordinator and the offensive play call. Like today when the game started, they said that they asked Rodgers, "What play calls do you want to be more comfortable with?" Like
Hmm.
Rodgers is essentially being the coach out there, right? He's gonna
Right.
run, he's gonna do what he wants now, right? And like
Yeah.
Saleh's not there anymore, and none of his coaches are gonna be, saying no, we're gonna run this play and this is what's gonna
But
happen.
I
It's
never
Rodgers'
felt
call,
like
man.
Saleh got in the way of that. Like it didn't feel like Saleh was the one saying like, no, we should not do this. He kind of gave Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers like, here, you guys have the offense, go for it, like do whatever you want to do. And
Exactly.
they say that they play an old offense, not the no, not the new screen pass kind of offense that a lot of teams play nowadays. They're playing the old type offense that they did well during when he was a Packer, but it's not working
Yeah.
now. So like, I just don't know how. I mean, because they didn't add any players. They lost the head coach. I just don't see how you fast forward
They
this.
said that
They're two
they
and
said that the
four.
defense is supposed to be good because Jets actually have the best defense. They have
Yeah, the
very
second
good
best
D
defense for
line.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
but that was Robert Sala's doing.
that's what they were complaining that fine, our offense is figuring stuff out right now, but what's the excuse for the defense not playing to the level they're supposed to?
They're playing well. I mean,
They didn't think that.
they scored what it's 7 points against the Broncos.
Yeah,
And the Broncos won by two.
exactly.
So like the defense is holding up just fine. The defense actually looked worse today than the first
Yeah.
four six
Oh
first
yeah.
5 weeks. And it's again Robert Saleh not there. So like there are people saying like Robert Saleh is probably somewhere laughing his ass off at a bar because like this is what you guys gave up
Oh
for me, you know. But definitely be interesting. I mean again, on paper this
yeah.
is a very talented team. Great running back, great wide
It is.
receiver, obviously a great quarterback, good defense, but
The
the
whole line. The
intangibles are the
only
issue
weakest link,
here.
man.
Yeah, the intangibles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they do sneak in, man, it'll be scary though. That's all I gotta say, man. I can see them going all the way in and doing
Yeah, for
crazy shit.
sure. For sure, yeah. Let's go into the other controversial game, which was
Oh my
the
gosh.
uh I mean, I don't even know why it was this close, but the Eagles and the Browns was all this morning. But the Eagles won 2016. The main thing is towards the end. This is at yeah, in Philly, and apparently the Philly fans are not happy with Sirianni. They're saying, fire Nick, get him out." Towards they win the game, and then he starts chirping back at Philly fans. So, in your opinion, good idea, bad idea?
Dude, fans are fans are a short form of fanatics, man. They're crazy and stupid, right?
Hmm.
Drunk football fans, especially in Philadelphia, man. It's not really brotherly love out there, right, man? We all heard about Eagles fans. I mean, look, I feel for the Eagles fans because this is how the Lakers fans were reacting last year
Hmm.
because we hated Darvin Ham. He didn't know what the hell was he doing out there. No adjustments, nothing. And so I feel for my fellow Eagles fans, you know? I understand what they see it. They see Sirianni is
Hmm.
sucking. He doesn't know
Yeah,
what he's doing out there, you know?
right.
He's just lucky that he's inherited a really good team and that made him look good in the year one of his contract. And then
Hmm.
year two, he didn't do that well, right? So for him to act that unprofessional
Hmm.
and talk back at the fans when they're drunk and you're sober and you're gonna talk like that to the fans, come on, man, act the title that you've been given, which is the head coach of the football team.
Hmm.
Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is valid to their own opinion. So why even talk back at the fans? Yeah, I understand you won by four. First of all, the game shouldn't even be close. I mean, they got
Yeah,
lucky that Cleveland actually went for a field goal instead of going for that fourth and something. I don't know why Cleveland even
right.
did that. It was like fourth and short, and they went for a field goal, and they thought they were gonna get the ball back. And I'm like, come on, dude, just go for the tie game.
Not with that defense.
Go
Yeah,
for fourth and short and see if you can convert that first down and go for the score and tie the game up, right?
right.
So, but again, this game was closer than I expected. I thought this would have been,
Hmm.
Eagles. They had a bye week. They came back. I thought they were gonna blow the Browns out. I thought the score. I thought literally the score was gonna be like 30 to like 7, something
Right,
like that.
right.
But
It
no, it
should have
wasn't.
been.
But
It should have
yeah,
been.
yeah, exactly. And so for Sirianni to talk back at the fans,
Yeah,
it looks so stupid, man. It looks
yeah.
really dumb on him until he apologized.
And this is my issue with Syrian, and that's why I never liked this guy because he's such an arrogant a-hole at
Oh yeah,
times. Like he just, when he wins, he's like, "I'm the best in the world. Look at me.
oh
I'm
yeah,
the genius." And like, you beat the Browns by four. Honestly, you should not be puffing your chest over beating the Browns. The Browns don't know what they're doing. Deshaun Watson is again, he has no clue what he's doing out there. And then, and worst of all, is that you're doing it to Philly fans. Like one thing about Philly fans, and I give them credit for is that they are very diehard fans in the fact that like they will also push back when things go wrong. Like they will call
100%,
out
man.
your team. I remember when it was Allen Iverson and his coach were getting into it. They were booing Allen Iverson when he was playing at home game because they were so upset with how things were going and how things were
Yeah.
transpiring between him and Larry Brown. So like they are a very diehard fan base. So like you have to just take that and say, okay, what can I do to win them back? Because you've at this point they've definitely turned on him. Like
Oh gosh.
no matter how well he does, they will never like him, and then they will want him fired ASAP, and probably will cost him his job because of how arrogant he is. And then the worst part is in the post conference, he's up there with his kids, and you can't ask hard question when the kids are there because you don't want to make it
My
controversial. You don't want to
gosh,
go back and forth. So he's like using his kids as shields essentially
that's
from getting
so wrong.
criticized. And it's like, and it's like one of the first, second time ever he's done that. So it was intentional. Like he knows he can get a lot of flack for that. And he's like, yeah. Another thing he lied about was like, oh, the players were telling me that yeah, we should like we should definitely talk back to the fans. This is good for us. It pumps us up. I'm like, I doubt any Eagle player was like, "Yo, coach, go talk shit to our own fans, please." I
Coaches
doubt
don't
it.
do that, man. I
Coaches
mean,
don't do that,
when have you seen Bill Belichick doing that?
right?
Sean McVay doing that?
Belichick, anybody,
Shanahan
dude.
doing that?
Yeah,
Who does that? Like, imagine.
it's crazy to me.
I don't
So
know,
like,
man.
I think I mean, what's their schedule like next week? They're playing the Giants. So again, they're playing a bye week. So they got the Bengals, they got the Cowboys up soon, they got Commanders, they got the Ravens again. So like they really need to pull off a miracle coming up here because the Commanders are looking really, really good. Honestly, that was a really close game between them and the Ravens. But
Back and forth.
Sirianni, I don't know what to do with this guy. Honestly, like he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything for his team. He doesn't call play call. He doesn't do any play calling, and he just runs his mouth. What is his job out there?
He's an
Mascot?
embarrassment, man. He's an embarrassment, man.
Yeah,
An emotional little energizing bunny, that's ready to just
yeah,
explode anytime. He just reacts to everything. You gotta be even kill as a coach. You cannot
yes.
get that rowdy. You can't have fans get under your skin. You gotta
Especially
have
your own fans. Like the Denver Nuggets coach who definitely got into the Lakers crowd, and that's fine. I get that. It's still unprofessional, but it's fine.
you
But
still
like
want
not
to
to
do that,
your own
yeah.
fans. You don't do that to your own fans. Especially not Philly. Philly will turn on you, and they already have,
And
I
they
think.
have, It's done.
Yeah.
The
So
writing's on
that
the
was
wall. Even if Eagles win the Super Bowl, I don't even think Sirianni returns. That's how
oh yeah,
bad it is right now.
yeah.
It won't.
Which they definitely are not, but.
Yeah,
Let's go into their division leader, which is the Commanders and the Ravens. That was a
that
good
was a
game.
good
I,
game,
I
man.
actually enjoyed this game a lot. It was a little bit back and forth. I think that I predicted the Ravens to win because I just know that they're on a roll. But Jaden Daniels is legit. This kid is super legit. I actually watched a full game of him playing. I was like, this kid's got places to be. It's crazy.
I mean, come on, man. He went head to head with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
This guy, Daniels, had 269 with two touchdowns, man. And
yeah,
Lamar, same thing, 323 with one touchdown, one INT, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's it's like you basically played this well against an MVP
Right.
player, basically,
And
of
a
the league.
hot team at that. Yeah,
Exactly, Lamar Jackson, right? And I think the only difference, man, I think the reason I think that Washington lost is because of Derrick Henry. That's
yeah.
all I feel. They couldn't stop him.
Derrick Henry.
He just ran everything, man. 132
Yeah.
yards with two touchdowns. They couldn't stop him. Besides, if you take Henry away, I mean, yeah, fine. Zay Flowers had 132 with 9 catches. That's gonna happen, right? It's give and take,
Right.
right? That's their number one target. If it's not him, or likely, right? But dude, Derrick Henry, like you cannot let him rush and have that many yards. 132, man. That's just
Yeah.
insane, man. That's
They
insane.
figured it out with Henry. They really have figured out how to utilize him better because the first 2 weeks it did not look good at all. It felt like, is Lamar going to run? Is Henry going to run? What's his offense going to look like? They
Yeah.
finally figured out what it's going to be like, and
I
Henry
hope they
the
stay with
last two
it.
weeks has been unstoppable.
Well, I hope they do that because when it comes to playoffs, things will change, right?
Yeah.
And Lamar becomes a little tighter, right? And he
Hmm.
might think that he needs to win the game. He needs to run the ball, right? Lamar
Yep.
becomes that sometimes, right? And I hope he doesn't do that, and let Derrick Henry let him pound the ball and go through the middle, I
Yep.
mean, hopefully. They look
Yeah.
good, man.
They look
Baltimore
really
looks
good.
good too, man. I mean, you can't say anything about it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to my game of the week, which was the Lions beating your
That cannot
Cowboys
be a game of the week, man, for
47 to
you.
9 on the best owner GM in the world, Mr. Jerry Jones' birthday. This was ugly. I watched this game and oh my God. Dude, he made Jared Goff look like freaking Tom Brady out there. Like Peyton Manning out there. It was an ugly game. Dak Prescott had that bad INT in the second possession that like dude, explain your team to me. I just don't understand. Like, what is this hype? They're just so bad.
Look, they're The Jets, right, man? They're loaded with their offensive cores, right? I
Hmm.
mean, but Jets at least have defense. This team doesn't even have defense. They think they have defense, but all they have is people who talk smack, for Dallas. That's all. That's all it is. Honestly, man, I'll be honest with you. As Dallas, my second favorite team, I was embarrassed. Even when I was like keeping up with this game, it was a blowout. I understand you'll lose, right? But come on,
Right.
for your owner's birthday, who pays you millions of dollars, and you don't even show up. Like,
Yep.
how do you gonna get beat like that, 47-9, man? I mean, dude, Jared Goff was like Joe Montana or something. Dude,
Yeah, he looked
15
incredible.
yards with 3 touchdowns. Like, dude, what the hell is going on? And then you have David Montgomery rushing for 80 yards, and then you have
Yep.
freaking Gibbs 63 yards. Like, come on, man. Like, this can't be
Yeah.
real. This
Yeah,
can't be
Michael
real
Parsons
at
was
all, man.
injured. They have a lot of injuries. I will give Dallas that. They got a lot of injuries, but there's no reason for you to show up or not show up rather
But
because
get
it
whooped.
looked like, yeah, it looked like pretty much at half they had just given up. It was 27-6. They're like, this game is wash.
Look, man,
Forget it.
all I'm saying is this. This is the team that you're going to be facing in the NFC in the playoffs.
Hmm.
This is one of the top teams.
Yeah.
And you don't show up. This
Yep.
this is this should have been a measuring stick for you.
Yeah.
This should have been like, hey, look, let's play competitive. Let's beat them. So then we have some type of confidence, if we do face them in the playoffs, when we make the playoffs, like you want to feel that you're established and you're ready to be in the playoffs.
Right.
Dude, the way the performance that Dallas has been showing lately in the past like couple weeks against the Baltimore Ravens and this, man,
Hmm.
what are they doing? Like, are they even gonna make the playoffs?
They're probably not, dude. No shot they make playoffs. Because NFC is kind of loaded too. Yeah, this was
Oh my
uh,
gosh,
Dak Prescott. I mean, I said it when they signed him. I'm like, he is overhyped,
two ints,
overrated.
man, two
Yeah,
ints. Well, what are you doing?
overrated.
178 yards, two ints. You know, okay. Do
He,
you know what this means, man? They haven't forgotten what happened in the wild card. This is
mm,
exactly this is a complete correlation of the season of what they have not got over the fact what happened. The
yeah,
shock, they're still shocked that the way Green Bay Packers came
yeah,
into their stadium and butt whooped them basically.
yeah,
And so I now I agree that they need to fire
yeah. You
what's his
think
name. He's done.
McCarthy needs to get
The
fired?
team gave up. This is the type of game when you know the team gave up on the coach. I'm
Yeah,
surprised he hasn't made a move. He needs to make a move. If he wants this season to be anything, they need to make that move. They're done with Mike McCarthy. They haven't got over what happened last year, and this is a correlation of what's happening this year. They need to move on. Dude, I'm telling you, Belichick would be a
yeah.
way better coach.
But Jerry Jones will not give up the GM power, which Belichick wants. His
Man,
ego
dude.
is too much. He thinks CeeDee Lamb is the number one receiver in the entire NFL, and he's not. Honestly,
He's
he's
not.
not.
He's not. He's
AJ
not.
Brown out there, Justin Jefferson out there. CeeDee Lamb is not even in that category. He gave Dak Prescott biggest money in the world.
He's
He's a
not.
mediocre quarterback. Honestly, he's a mediocre quarterback. And they did ask him at post game, like Jerry Jones, are you considering Mike McCarthy? He's like, I'm not. What did he say? He said, I'm not an idiot. Don't even.
Yeah.
Like, we're not making that change. Blah blah blah. But like Mike McCarthy's thing, the reason why he moved on from Kellen Moore, who was a play caller, was that Kellen Moore threw the ball too much.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the ball because that's what I want to
Yeah.
do, and it's going to help our team. They are throwing the ball more under Mike McCarthy than they were Kellen Moore. So like explain,
So
I don't
stupid.
understand like what his logic is. Why is he there?
So stupid.
Don't get it.
It
But
doesn't make any sense, man.
yeah, but the Lions had a huge loss in that one of their best defensive players, Aiden Hutchinson, got that nasty
That was
injury. You see
nasty.
that? He's probably gone
That
for the
was so
season.
bad.
He definitely broke it.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. He
and
broke that. That's the way he looked.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So this was like as a negative and a positive, but probably a huge negative in the long run for them because it's pretty much. I mean,
He
honestly,
was
a
captain
lot
of
of
the
people are
defense,
saying
man.
that this, yeah, they lost their Super Bowl chances because he's not going to be there. It's
I mean,
huge.
this is a guy. This is the guy who basically did everything. He was like the Aaron Donalds, like
Yeah,
literally the key guy. He was. He's like a Troy Polamalu, like that defense, man. Like
yeah.
he
I
literally
just
did everything.
my thing with that was why is he still out there? Like you're up 37-9. Just bench your players. You know
Yeah,
the Cowboys have already given up. They give
yeah,
up a set in the half. Once you're up 37-9, you know they don't care. They just want this game to
yeah,
be over so they can go home and eat some
yeah.
chicken wings. But like, why is he still out there? I don't get that.
It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm trying to say. That injury happened when they're up that big, man.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense. You have the game wrapped up,
man.
man. There's no way. There's no way Cowboys making that run. There's nothing. Nothing's gonna happen, man. I mean,
Yeah.
but why? That
I
sucks,
mean,
man.
I'm a little bit more like annoyed by it because I actually like the Lions a lot. I like the underdog story. I think they're like, they were the crappiest franchise. Now they were like one of the legitimate threats. And all of a sudden, like, you just see the season kind of slip in front of you because you just don't want to load manage. I mean, by all means, just bench the guy. They don't, again, your opponent doesn't care. They're not going to come back. They have Cooper Rush in there. So you already know they gave up. So just let him sit.
That's
I mean,
crazy, man.
they had Jared Goff still out there. They had Amon St. Brown, who also has an injury history. Like, why are they still out there? Just bench them. It's all right. But yeah, that was.
Coach, man.
But I'm surprised between Mike McCarthy. Here's my question for you: Mike McCarthy and Sirianni, who gets fired first?
Yeah,
You think so? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because
Mike
he
Mike
lost.
McCarthy, Mike McCarthy. Okay, the one thing Mike McCarthy has that I don't think Sirianni does is that Mike McCarthy has the backing of the owner. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Jerry Jones loves Mike McCarthy. As long as the owner likes you, man, you're going nowhere. You know that too. It
Especially if
works the
Jerry
real
Jones
way too.
likes you. Yeah,
You're
that's
going
why
nowhere,
Jason
man.
Garrett had his job for so long because he was a yes man to Mike McCarthy or to
Exactly.
Jerry
As long
Jones.
as exactly Sirianni, man, I'm telling you, man. I'm sorry, if once I'm not surprised. Once Eagles are officially out of the playoffs in the season, if they don't make the playoffs, if they're out of the contention of making the playoffs, Sirianni has gone. Sirianni has gone.
Yeah,
He's that one coach. He's not coming back, dude. He's
it's
gone like so fast, dude. Even he knows he's gone, dude. It's what do you think? How about you,
yeah. Oh
Mike
yeah,
McCarthy
100%.
or
I think he'll be gone once they're eliminated from the playoffs. And like the thing
yeah,
about him is that he can't even be the coordinator because he again does nothing. So like
yeah,
he'll just be out in the NFL. He'll probably be
exactly,
bagging
exactly,
groceries at your local Target because
exactly,
he's not going to be able to fall back. Like Saleh will find a job because he's a good defensive coordinator as well. He probably will probably do a better job there as a
exactly,
defensive coordinator.
exactly.
Sirianni is not going to do anything except
It's so
maybe a
funny,
ball
man.
boy.
This Eagles team, man. It's like it's has written all over it. Bill Belichick, all over this,
That would be the perfect team.
all over this,
I
man. I'm
said it from
telling
the
you,
beginning.
the team is ready to win a Super Bowl. This
Yeah,
Eagles team is so loaded, man, from top to
yeah,
bottom, like super loaded, and
yep,
it just needs a fucking coach, man. I'm
yeah.
telling you, man.
Just Bill Belichick would be heaven sent for them, honestly.
It's kind of like saying that when Shaq and Kobe, they didn't do good against like Del Harris. Right
Hmm.
when Phil Jackson got there, they
Yeah,
clicked.
yep,
They just clicked, man.
yeah. So we'll see. It's definitely gonna be an interesting season for both of them, the Cowboys and the
Exactly.
Eagles, because they got a commander just kind of running away with it, honestly, at this point.
Oh my gosh.
I know the Eagles are only one game away, but the Commander just look like such a better team, and
100%.
that the quarterback of their Daniels looks like the best quarterback in that division. So we'll see. But let's recap our predictions from last
All
week.
right, man. Let's go, man.
I
You
I think I
know,
got a clean sweep, right?
shut the hell up, Tapas. All right, man. Thursday nighter. It was Niners in Seattle. I picked Seattle. Niners won.
Thank you.
1-0. Packers in Arizona. Packers won.
I don't know what you're thinking. Kyler Murray, dude. Come on, man.
Okay, look. I didn't know David Carr was out. Okay, if I would have known David Carr was out, I would have picked the Bucks as well. So Bucks whooped. Not whooped. It was a high scoring game. They scored like 52 points. Whatever they case
51,
they
yeah.
did.
51
It was
27.
51, yeah. It's something like that. But they still, yeah. So Bucks won. That's 3-0 for you, man. Ravens and Washington. I was honestly, man, if Washington would have won, dude, if Washington would have won, I would have been, you know what, have that sixth victory. I got that Washington win. I'm so happy. Oh man, but
The
they
Ravens are
lost
too
too.
hot, man. They're just too hot of a team.
Hello, Tapas. 4-0. Chargers and freaking Broncos. Dude, Broncos, it was in Denver. Their defense is good. They didn't show up.
You got
They
Bo
didn't
Nix,
show
though.
up.
Come on, man.
They
Bo
didn't
Nix
do their
against
defense
Justin
is good.
Herbert. Come on, man.
And 5 and
Game
0.
over.
5-0 for your Detroit and Cal. I don't want to even talk about that shit. 6
That
and
was so
0.
easy.
And then today, Bills and Jets. just fucking had this game.
Yeah, they did.
Had this
This was the
game.
closest you got. This is the closest you got.
7-0. 7-0 Tapas.
But all right, man. Let's go. Let's keep it going on to next week. Let's get our predictions. All right. So Thursday
You know what,
night
man? We should. Hold on. Time before you do, our wager on this.
For what, this week?
Let's make a little. Yeah, this week. Let's bring a $5 wager. Let's go.
All right. So whoever has a better record.
There's a tough.
All right.
We'll see.
$5. Let's do it. All right. All right. So we got the Broncos, your Broncos, and the Saints in New Orleans on Thursday night. I got the Saints in this one.
Well, let me open
Doesn't matter if Derrick Carr's playing or not.
Hold on. All right, let me put this in right now. All right, it's Tapas and Kenil. All right, so wait, okay, go ahead. What was the first matchup?
So you got the Broncos and the Saints in New Orleans. I got the Saints in this one. Broncos are favored by 2.
Same here, man. I got the Saints too. I'm not being stupid now. So, yeah.
All right, then you got the Patriots, battle of the 1-5 team. Patriots against the Jaguars in London. This is probably going to be as a toss-up. Jacksonville is favored by 5. I'll go Jacksonville here because the coach needs to keep his job.
I'm gonna go with Pats.
Interesting.
Patriots, bro.
All right, and next up, you got the Seahawks and the Falcons. This is going to be in Atlanta. The Falcons are favored by 3. I believe in Kirk Cousins, man. I believe in Kirk Cousins. I mean, Seahawks have been just going downwards so quickly. Geno Smith is making really bad decisions out there. I got Kirk Cousins. I got the Falcons.
Same here, Falcons, man. I mean, you're right. I mean, Seattle, ever since it started off, 2-0 or 3-0, they haven't played well, man. They've been losing.
I got the biggest spread this week, which is the Bills against the Titans. This is going to be in New York, so in Buffalo. Bills are favored by 9, and I will obviously pick the Bills because the Titans just suck. Plain and simple.
Yep. Dude, there's no way Bills are losing this game, dude.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way, dude.
You got the Bengals against the Browns. It's going to be in Cleveland. Cincinnati is favored by 4.5. I will pick the Bengals in this one because Joe Burrow is getting hot at the right time.
There's no way I'm picking Cleveland either in this case, man. So don't give me that shit. There's no way, dude.
All right, here's where we might differ. Okay, so you got the Texans and the Packers in Lambeau. Packers are favored by 2.5. I will pick the Texans in this.
I'm picking Packers.
All right.
It's Lambeau, man.
In Jordan Love, you believe. All right.
You know what? You know what, man? They don't have their top receiver. You gotta remember that. He's on IR. What's his name? Not Tank Dell, the other guy. Not Stephon Diggs. What's his name? The other guy, man. I forgot his name.
Well, Stephon Diggs will show up. It's fine. He's used to the weather up there anyways.
Oh, I mean, so.
All right, then we got the Dolphins and we got the Colts. Colts are favored by 3.5. Tua is still probably somewhere in some facility. I got the Colts here.
I got the Dolphins.
Okay. This is in Indy, by the way. All right.
I know.
Next up, you got, this is probably a game of the week here. Lions and Vikings. This is going to be in Minneapolis. Vikings are favored by 2.5. I'm going to pick the Vikings because that Hutchinson thing really is going to mess it up. And the Vikings offense is clicking like no other.
Vikings get the first loss.
Next up, you got the Giants against the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 3.5. This is going to be in MetLife Stadium. I will pick the Giants.
Exactly. Believe in Daniel Jones, man. I'm telling you. Over Sirianni, man.
He's playing better than freaking Jalen Hurts out there, so take him.
The next game is hard, bro. Raiders and my Rams.
Raiders and Rams. Battle of 2 bottom tier teams. The Rams are favored by 5.5. Even though it'll be just a bunch of Raider fans in there. I'll pick the Raiders. The Rams are just spiraling, man.
Coming off a bye week, I think they'll get a victory against the Raiders. Raiders are. Did you see what happened, by the way? I was pushing the coach, Antonio Pierce.
Oh, I didn't see that. Really?
Yes. And this was the same guy that said that if they don't remove the the interim tag on Antonio Pierce and become my head coach, I'm gonna demand a trade in his podcast. Crosby, and then
it's because Pierce was benched him, right? Crosby,
something like that, yes. And he literally just shoved him, like wow. So
crazy.
I got the Rams.
I mean,
good luck.
Adams wants out, so that team. But The Rams look even worse, honestly, because they got so many injuries, man. They got the Panthers and the Commanders. Is going to be in Commanders' home, so I got Commanders here,
Hmm.
obviously, easy.
Easy, man. There's no way. Yeah, especially in DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening, man.
This will be a good game. I got the Niners and the Chiefs in Levi Stadium. Ooh, I think because Debo is back, I will say the Niners win.
No undefeated teams, brother.
All right.
I
There
got
you
the
go.
Niners too.
So both undefeated teams get their first loss according to Kenil this week. Then you got the
Yep.
Jets and Steelers. It's going to be in Pittsburgh. I got the Steelers here because the Jets just
Oh
don't
no.
know how to. You got
This is a
Jets
big game for Jets, man. Big. If that have any playoff implication, big game.
because
Big game.
I don't think Russell Wilson is playing here either, so I feel better about my pick. If he was playing, I probably would have gone to Jets. So, all right, they got the Ravens
Wow.
and the Buccaneers. It's going to be in Tampa. But I'm gonna hop on this Ravens train. This Ravens team is just too hot.
I
Baltimore's
don't
favored by
know,
three and a
man.
half.
I'm going for Bucks.
Right? You got some hot
Dude,
takes over
Baker
here. This is what got you
Baker,
into trouble last week. You know that, right?
Baker, bro. Baker has been playing well, man.
Yeah, but Lamar is playing way better. He's playing lights out. All right, then the last game, Monday Night Football, is Chargers and Cardinals. This is gonna be in Glendale. I got the car. I'm sorry, I got the Chargers here.
I got the Cards.
Back to back, he's picking the Cardinals. Really, you must have really loved the Cardinals for some reason.
It's in Arizona, man. I think the no-show performance they had against Green Bay in Lambeau kind of got them there. So let's see.
They've been no shows for 4 games, 2-4. You know that, right? They're not 4 and
Get
2.
out of here, Tapas. Get out of here.
All right, this is good. I can't wait to spend $5 for my pumpkin spice latte. All right, let's go
And
into.
that'll be and that'll be a small one, by the way, with the
I know you
inflation
a
and
tall
stuff.
one,
So don't worry.
and you'll find you a discount too because it's like 5.50 now. Freaking inflation. All right,
Oh
let's
my
go
God.
into some baseball playoffs. Predictions wise, you and I are pretty much tied, right? So we for the first
Exactly.
round we said Phillies and Mets. We both said the Mets will win.
Yes.
Padres and Dodgers. We both said the Dodgers would win. I think the only part that you and I were disagreeing on was the Guardians, and they played the
Hmm.
Tigers. No, they played
Yeah.
Tigers,
Tigers. Yeah.
Tigers. And so
Yeah.
I had the Tigers, you had the Guardians, and they went through, and I had the Yankees versus the Tigers. I'm sorry, the Royals,
Royals,
and then you had the Royals, I
and
had the
had the
Yankees.
Royals.
So we pretty much split even there. So the Yankees are the one today, 5-2 against the Guardians. They're 1-0
Gosh,
on their way
that's gonna
to
be
the World
that's
Series.
gonna be that's gonna be a gentleman's sweep, man. I don't see anything happening,
You think
at
so?
all. Like, to be honest.
They
Yeah,
look pretty
man.
dominant.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if Guardians can do anything. To be honest, man. I don't know. It's an easy road. And like even Alex Rodriguez and Jeter today said in the pregame or last night or something when they were previewing the matchup, they're like, this might be the easiest road to get to the World Series for them.
Yeah.
They felt so they have no challenge right now, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Yankees just are way too overpowered for this for the Guardians. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know if it'll be John between honestly, it might just be a full on sweep. But
And then before talking about the Dodgers, man, I mean, let's talk about that Game 5 on Friday. I mean, that was amazing. That was amazing. And prior to that, that Game 4, man, it was amazing. A shutout by our bullpen game, dude.
yep,
And then another shutout, 2-0 victory in Game 5. I mean, what's your take on that, man? I mean, Padres, we're talking all this smack and everything, and,
yep,
and they had that 2-1 lead and everything, and we had a bullpen game on in Game 4, and our bullpen just shut them down, no runs.
24
And
innings
then
straight.
whole talk was that Dodgers don't have an ace, but they're
Mm-hmm.
paying Yamamoto $300 million
Mm-hmm.
to be an ace. And so people were iffy if he's gonna start. Who's gonna start Game 5, right? Because I
Right.
guess Dave Robert didn't announce Game 5 starter until Thursday night, and
Hmm.
and when he wasn't too sure if Yamamoto was a good pick or not, right? And
Yeah.
so Yamamoto came through, man.
Yeah,
Six
he did.
plus innings, and he showed
That
up.
was
He showed up, and he took that pressure and he just went with it, man. So
yeah.
it was
No,
amazing. You
I
Darvish.
think yeah. I mean, besides game one, Otani was a no-show pretty much
Yeah,
for the whole series. Right? He had what, like 6 strikeouts, something
exactly.
like that, right?
Exactly. He was, yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, the pitching really saved the Dodgers, which is why I feel much better because if we had won and it was pretty much just a slugfest between the Dodgers and the Padres, I would have said you we're probably gonna lose to the Mets because the Mets do have a little bit better pitching than the
Right,
Padres do. So I was like, that
right.
would have been we had no shot. But because our pitching stepped up so much, our relievers and our closer were just lights out. I feel a lot better go for the Mets than I do against than I did against the Padres.
Well, well, today was a
And
bullpen game, man, and that kind of backfired on us today.
yeah, I know.
I
Well,
mean,
minus today's game, of course, yeah. But yeah, game
yeah.
one was a fantastic game for Dodgers part. But I just love seeing all of the Padre fans just crying, talking so much crap, and then you just see their faces when they lose 2-0 in game five. You just see them like, what the hell happened? And then my favorite part was who was the last out for the Padres? Who was it?
Yeah, it was Tatis.
Yep. It would have been better if it was
Tatis.
Machado, but I will take Tatis any day. So, or Tatis,
Machado, dude, that'll be
but
great. I
yeah,
love it. I love it. I love it, man.
but
I
the
love
fact
it.
that it was him
Right
was
here, man.
the icing on
Dodgers,
the cake.
baby.
Yeah, that was the best thing ever.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
I
man.
mean,
It was good.
you can really feel though, like being in LA, like us winning that series, the whole LA has just completely just changed. The vibe here has just changed
Yeah,
so much. Like, I don't know if you can tell. Like
100%, man.
honestly, like it's not just me being like a baseball fan. I could just tell. I see a lot more Dodger fans out there, Dodger player. I mean,
Yeah,
like Dodger flags everywhere. Like I just see Dodgers everywhere right now.
we
It's amazing to see.
we have the best record every time, and we lose in the first round, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just hard. Like, just getting out of that freaking 5 games that we couldn't beat. And like so, it's good making the NLCS. And honestly, I hate saying this, but I'm not scared of the Mets as I was with the
Mm.
Padres. Padres had that hitters that can slug your way
Yeah.
through. They had a good defense. They had good pitching. They had very good like trifecta. With the Mets, they have Francisco Lindor. They have
Right.
Edwin Diaz. Who's a good closer for them. And besides that, I'm not too afraid.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to be an easy series. I still think it goes six.
Yeah.
Dodgers wrap it up in six,
Yep.
and but like, I do feel that Dodgers will advance to the World Series, and like we predicted.
Dodgers and Yankees, baby. Dodgers, come on, man. This could gonna be the one of the best series, World Series. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I want the Dodgers to secure it. Like
Everyone,
let's not fast forward too much because the Mets are a
yeah,
serious threat. I think the Yankees will definitely make it because the
yeah.
Guardians are no match for them. But
Oh man,
I cann't wait, dude. I
Yank,
cannot wait.
we got
You know
we
how
got
many
to somehow
years
end up
we've
at that
waited for
stadium.
this?
We got to end up in that stadium somehow, man. Watch that game at least
Like
somehow, man.
$2,000 a pop. Dodger dog
But
would cost like $22 at night because it'd be so freaking expensive over there.
imagine being at a Dodger and Yankee World Series, man.
God, I cannot wait, dude. Man, but nonetheless, we're playing two New York teams back to back, which is also amazing to hear. I'm happy for the Mets rather, because they usually are the little brother in that town, but they really
Like the
proven
Angels,
themselves.
like the Angels. What's gonna be
God.
good, man? What's gonna be good if we are lucky enough to advance to the World Series,
Mhm.
we're gonna be used to the travel.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
It's
playing
true.
3 games in New York now, right? So we're gonna be used
Yep.
to that travel. So there's gonna be no like no one's gonna be off. Everyone's gonna be all
Yeah.
right, cool. They're gonna have another week in New York again. So it's good. So it'll be awesome.
All right. So we both are predicting that next week we will be having a Yankees and Dodgers World Series.
Yes. When we start
Cannot
our
wait.
show, when we have our Brown Ball podcast next Monday, we will be previewing the Yankees, the LA Dodgers for Game 1
This will be crazy.
for the World
Can't
Series
wait, dude. Can't
for that
wait,
trophy, which is
dude.
amazing, man.
Cannot wait. All right, so that's baseball, man. Again, I'm excited. The atmosphere in LA has truly changed. Did you see Dodgers fans coming out and over? I mean, I was glued to the screen the last two games. I watched game one. I missed game two 'cause I was busy today, but
Right.
I'm glad I did because we got our butt whooped. I cannot wait, honestly. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, today's game, man. Getting into it, to be honest with you, I saw the whole game.
Mhm.
We would have won this game. It's just that that grand slam killed us. I mean, the
Mm,
game was there for us taking. It was just that
yeah.
one bad pitch. It was 2 outs, bases loaded. I don't know. I don't know why you want to throw it down the middle. He did, and I think he just got caught up, and then they just smacked that thing out of the field, and it was a grand slam. Besides that, man, I think this was a winnable game. Even them hitting a grand slam, it was a shutout after that. Today, they only scored one more
Yeah.
run after that, and that's
Yeah.
it. 7. But like, it was a good game. I felt like if we didn't have a bullpen game today, and if we would have just had a bullpen game 3, would have been
Hmm.
beneficial because we could have just had Bueller pitch today, in the normal start that he could have had today. But I don't know. That was Dave Roberts' decision when have a
But
bullpen game today instead of having Bueller go today, man. I don't know. I
yeah,
kind of
Bill
disagree with that, to be
look a little
honest, man.
rough out there though last time.
Besides, I mean, come on. The only reason he looked rough against the Padres in Game 3 is all
Yeah.
because of Freddie Freeman and Machado coming in the way of that double play,
Yeah.
or that out at second, and then freaking the other guy from Dodgers couldn't even throw the ball. He wanted to run to second and got that
Mm,
save. That whole second
yeah.
innings debacle. Well, I mean, I don't blame Bueller because Bueller didn't give up anything after that. He was
Yeah.
good. He was in the zone after that.
He
It was
settled
just
in.
that second inning. He gave that grand slam, and we're done after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Well, should be fun nonetheless. We got the Yankees tomorrow, and then Dodgers
Dodgers
playing the day after that.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
and then they play Sunday and Monday. Hopefully, there's no game Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we talk about Dodgers and the Yankees preview, man. So that'll be
Well,
good,
if
man.
this is a game 7, it'd be really good for the podcast. That's for sure. So we'll
That'll
see
be awesome, man. That'll be
if there
awesome.
is a game 7.
That'll be awesome.
We
That'll
got a
be
few
great,
minutes.
man.
You want to talk about anything NBA wise? I know we talked about the
Yeah, man.
Vicente
What
thing.
do you think about the Lakers? I mean, there's about they played 3 4 games already. I mean, I particularly like the swag that JJ's bringing, man. To be honest, I know I'm a little Laker homer, here and there. I kind of like the swag, JJ's bringing, man. So far, so good, man.
Preseason, man. Come on, everyone looks good right now. The Clippers beat the Mavericks. Doesn't mean that it's gonna. They're legit Clippers.
No, it's not being
Preseason,
legit,
man.
right? It's not being legit. I mean, look, we have the same roster, right? That went to the
Hmm.
Western Conference Finals, right? 2 years ago. Last year was a debacle, right? I mean, besides that, the only thing we have different is the coaching, right? I hated Darvin Ham, man. He
Right.
didn't coach, he didn't make adjustments, right? The only thing, just like the Eagles fans, the thing we're missing is a coach. I like what Reddick is bringing, emphasizing and keeping people you know, I don't know, responsible for what they're doing, man. I mean,
So
I
far,
like what I like the actions he's been doing. So far, so good, man.
he's getting away with people holding people accountable that LeBron doesn't mind holding accountable. If as long as it's not LeBron, which
Yeah,
again, the true coaching comes when we eventually start having a losing streak, and coaching has to happen where like have to hold LeBron AD accountable. That's when I will know if JJ Redick is legit or not. Because again, you mentioned earlier Phil Jackson coming into a Shaq and Kobe with two highly egotistical,
yeah,
and Shaq was a franchise controlling player at the time. Phil Jackson came in and was like, "We're doing it things my way. This is how it's gonna work."
yeah,
And obviously he had a
yeah,
history with Michael
exactly.
Jordan and all that stuff, but like that's the kind of accountability that I'm looking for, because that's what you need to coach somebody like LeBron James. I mean, I know we have an example of Saleh being fired by, because of Aaron Rodgers. So like right now it looks good because of preseason, but when we eventually start having issues later on in the season, that's when the true coaching will come on. We'll see. Again, if he can stay true it like that, then he's a great coach, right fit for us. But it doesn't seem like he would be in the long run. You see all the stuff in so Philly, right? Wise, Paul George, right on cue,
Well,
hyperextended knee. He's
MVP, bro.
probably
That's right. Playoff P,
pod,
bro.
yeah,
Hyperextended.
podcast Pete now, because he's probably gonna be playing. He's gonna be on his podcast more than he's gonna be playing. After talking
Hyperextended knee,
so much
man.
stuff
He's
about the
out.
Clippers, he's probably out for a few
Oh yeah,
weeks,
I
right?
saw that, man. Definitely. I mean, probably. I think he's done for the preseason.
Yeah.
I think he'll play for the home opener though. He's like next week. Home opener's like on Wednesday for them, so he got
Okay.
another 9 days, so he'll be back by then. But
Because then you
Klay
have
Thompson, like I
Embiid.
told you, 0 for 9 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and B's out, and then Klay 0 for 9 and 0 for 6 from 3. Man, I love that.
Are you gonna really root for the guy because he didn't come to the Lakers?
Hell yeah,
Can you
man.
blame him though? Can you
Dude,
really
do you
blame
know
him?
what he said? Going to the Lakers is gonna be the same thing playing for the Golden State Warriors. How?
That's what he said.
Exactly. He's like, me playing for the Lakers is the exact same situation I'll be playing for Golden State. I don't want to go
See,
there.
he's kind of not wrong because the Warriors and Lakers were the same, almost same record 2 years ago.
Look, man, LeBron's LeBron. AD's AD. Don't tell me. Don't compare AD to Draymond Green here. I'm very sorry, but AD is fucking good, bro. Don't
Yeah,
compare
yeah.
AD. If he would have kept to the Lakers, you know how many open threes he would have gotten? Because LeBron is there and AD is there. Like it's not the same situation,
But do
man.
you realize how many opens he'll have now with the Mavericks, Luca and Kyrie? A
But like I
lot
said,
more threes.
they're all. You really gonna expect Clay to play small forward that much, man? With that bum ass knee?
I mean, he could come off the bench, but still, like I mean, they're gonna do what they do
He's not
like
gonna come off
last
the
year, which
bench,
is
man.
they're
He
gonna
did not
have
go there to come off the
Luca
bench,
take over, they're gonna have Kyrie take over. They won't be both at the same time, so he can still play shooting guard if needed because that's what
bro.
worked for the Mavericks
He
last year,
would be,
right?
but yeah. Look, I don't think Clay's gonna be Clay, man. I'm rooting against it. He's not gonna be anything, you know. So let's see.
Again, it's preseason, man. Let's not overreact to suddenly JJ Redick being the
Oh,
next big thing
listen to
and
me.
Klay
Listen to me.
Thompson
Listen to
having
me.
a complete
I
bum
completely
year.
understand. I completely understand it's preseason, but when you go 0 for 9, 0 for 9 in a preseason game and a season game is still going 0 for 9. I'm
Well, our
sorry.
second our
0
second
for
round
9.
pick
If
has gone 0 for like 12. Mr. Bronny James Jr.
I don't give a shit about. I don't even care about that. I'm talking about Klay Thompson. Okay, tell me this: if Steph Curry went 0 for 10 in the preseason and 0 for 6 from 3 pointer,
It
that
wouldn't
was a little
matter,
shocker.
brother.
Like,
No,
I
it
no,
wouldn't
it doesn't
matter.
matter. It doesn't matter the whole grand scheme of it. But I'm talking about going. I mean, come on, man.
It doesn't,
Come on.
brother. It doesn't matter if he goes 0 for 9
You know what?
preseason.
I
You're
had the
playing
same
the
mindset as you.
Clippers.
No. Listen to me. I had the same mindset as you, Tapas. I had the same
Hmm.
mindset as you when people said that Westbrook is not playing well with the Lakers in the preseason. And you know what I said? I was just like you. I said, yeah, it's just preseason. Stop taking preseason so seriously. And you know what ended up happening? It was true. Because while Westbrook was breaking those 3 pointers and
You
those mid rangers, he didn't do it during the season
you
either.
can't make that because Westbrook from the beginning was a bad fit. Klay Thompson is a great fit for the Mavericks. You know that. You know
He's a
he's
good
a
fit.
good
He's
fit
a
for the
good fit.
Mavericks.
He's
Yes.
a good fit, yeah.
So, and we all knew, besides you, the only delusional fan, we all knew Westbrook was a bad idea.
He
We all
was.
knew. We were just waiting for it, and then because your boy LeBron was like, yeah, gotta get Westbrook in here, and then just completely mess up the entire team chemistry. I mean, LeBron. I mean, yeah, Klay Thompson didn't choose the Lakers. Obviously, he left more money on the table, but he also made the right career move,
Yeah.
right? He because
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
who went to the finals last year?
That
This
was
team. Yeah,
that was a fluke, bro. But it was,
it was not a
that
fluke. They
was a
were
fluke.
this.
That was a fluke.
Why? I mean, do you think do you think the Lakers make the finals this year with Bronny James?
Hey, look, first of all, get that shit out of your head. Bronny James is not gonna play one single. Look, besides that first game, look, Bronny James will probably play like 20 games with the Lakers this year. That's it, man.
We
Max.
should have an over and
Bronny
under how
James.
many games he plays.
Ooh. Hey, next week, Brown Ball podcast is on a Monday. It's the day before a season opener of NBA. We're gonna talk
Hmm.
about NBA a lot. I have we gotta have some predictions, and we're gonna put money on this shit. Like $5 bet. That's not gonna kill us, all right, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have that's one of the over and under of Bronny James. How many games? And we're gonna talk about the division winners
Hmm?
and the conference winners, and who's gonna win the finals. So it's gonna be heavy on basketball next week. It's
All
the
right.
day before, the eve before the NBA season starts. Mr. Tapas,
Yeah.
Gandhi.
Well, I mean, I think next season, next week for sure, will be less football, because we'll be like mid season, right? And then
Yeah,
because we'll have the World Series potentially going into action, and you got the NBA season kicking off, so
eve
we'll probably go heavy into
eve
those
of the
two.
NBA season. Yeah, we'll
So
keep that. That's a preview for the fans. We're gonna have that Bronny James over and under how many games he plays.
you're gonna hate my answer, but yeah, I will save my answer for next week. Just let's keep that
Teaser,
as
man.
a
Teaser.
hidden.
Yep, keep it like that, man. Best thing,
All right,
Tapas.
well, let's conclude it there. All right, this is the Brown Balls podcast. We will see you guys next Monday. We'll go
Yup.
through again baseball, World Series. We'll go through the kickoff for NBA, and we'll recap NFL. We'll see you guys there. Bye, guys.